Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a very quick live stream. When I say quick, I mean probably 10 to 20 minutes, I would say. I wanted to say real quick that I've gotten some comments recently, and I want to address those, and then I want to give you a little motivation. So, first, some of the comments I've gotten have been on, "Hey Monger, what's up, bud?" Some of the comments I have gotten on the channel have been like, can you do hotel reviews here? Can you do hotel reviews here? First of all, if you're in Pattaya, I would love to review your hotel room anytime I'm there, which is on the weekends. Please let me know. Message me on Facebook Messenger, and I will be more than happy to review your hotel. Secondly, the other thing is people wanted all my hotel review videos together. It is now, all those reviews are now in a playlist called Hotel Reviews Thailand on my channel. So if you want to see hotel reviews from mostly Pattaya, and I think there's one on there from Bangkok, feel free to go to the playlist and do the Hotel Reviews Thailand. All that information will be on there so that you can have everything. Hey Roy, how you doing, man? Thanks for dropping by. That way you will have information on the hotel reviews that I have been to thus far, and I'm going to be doing more hotel reviews coming up very soon. Hey Mitchell, how are you, man? Good evening to you. Now, the other thing is I wanted to mention a little motivation for you guys. And this is mostly for people that can't really find the motivation to, hey Rodney, hey Chris, thank you buddy. This is for motivation for people who really can't find the motivation to just get up and do life, right? Do more life. That's what we're trying to do here. Hey Joe, I want to tell you where I was at just a little over 7.5 years ago, okay? And that was laying in an emergency room with tubes coming out of my body, and doctors telling me if I continued my behavior that I was going to die, period. I had no money, no place to live, no place to go, nothing to eat, nothing to do. So I took the necessary steps in order to make myself a better person. I went through the process of recovery. I went through the process of learning how to become a human being. I went through the process of learning how not to be judgmental of others, and now recently I've come into the process of learning how to not judge myself. My life is free. My life is free. People say, why don't you let the trolls bother you, Jeremy? That's because they don't bother me. They don't bother me. I don't care. Let them tell their stories and make up their lies. No, I guarantee you 99% of them have never spoken to me in any form or fashion, or have always gotten their information from somebody else. Never been from me. Monger said, how did you learn to love yourself first? And Steve says, humble in the jungle. Yes. Monger, first it started with humility, right? I had to learn how to embrace the fact that I was a little overweight. I had to learn how to embrace the fact that I was a person who had absolutely nothing. I had to learn how to embrace the fact that I didn't know anything, and I better listen to other grown men who could teach me how to be a grown man. And once I did that, they taught me how to love the little things about myself. And when I started learning to love the little things about myself, learning to love myself as a whole became very easy. Good morning, Jim, or good evening. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. So I was laying in a hospital bed a little over 7.5 years ago, and I had two choices. I could continue on the road I was on and die, or I could do something different. I chose to do something different. There's a video on this channel called 7 Years of Freedom. It will explain to you more about what I'm talking about if you would like to watch that video. I plan to do an update at 8 years, which will be in May, and let you guys know the whole thing. Danny says, just started watching your channel, man. I love it. Much respect from Massachusetts. Thank you so much, Danny. I'm glad that you find value in the content. That is what I'm here for, man. So what I want to say to you guys is, I came from a person. Rodney says, trolls are jealous, haters envious of your success which they appear to lack. I couldn't agree more, Rodney. Hey, Big Steve, good morning, sir. I was either going to die or move forward. I chose to move forward. It was a game of patience. It was a game of learning how to look at myself, look at my faults, which was very, very extraordinarily, excruciatingly painful, because I had to get honest with myself about the fact that at that time I had no self-esteem, no self-worth. I felt like the world was against me. I felt like everything that happened to me was everybody else's fault, not realizing that everything that happens in my life negatively goes on right here between my ears. It's all on me. It's not on other people, which is why the whole trolling thing doesn't bother me. So today, I have been traveling since July of 2017. And before that, I traveled to Peru for a month. I've been to Peru, I've been to Taiwan, I've been to Singapore, I've been to Germany, and now I'm in Thailand. My point in saying all this to you is very simple. If you want to make a change in your life, you can do it. Because I was a complete loser. I mean, complete loser. I was the epitome of the word loser 7.5 years ago. Nobody wanted anything to do with me for any reason. Carla says, looking into the mirror then changing things is not easy. That is very true, very true. Lewis says, amen, sir. Thank you, Lewis. And Carlos, I appreciate that very much. So my motivation that I want to give to you is, if I can do it, if I, who was at the time scum of the earth, right? Just scum. I was. Me, myself. Little over 7.5 years ago, I was scum of the earth, period. And in that 7.5 years since then, I've learned how to be a man. I have been lied about. I have been slandered, libeled, threatened, defamated, the whole 9 yards in an attempt to assassinate my character. Yet it does not affect me anymore, no matter what you trolls may think. It does not affect me anymore, and here's why. Because I love me. I love me, good, bad, and indifferent. Joe, I am 38 years old, sir, and there's nothing that you or anybody else can do to change that. When I make mistakes, I learn from them. I grow from them. People don't understand that learning how to fail, learning to love the idea of failing, is a process that will enable you to go far beyond the reaches of anything that you thought you could ever do, right? Because it stretches you outside of your comfort zone, and we all know nothing grows inside a comfort zone because you can't grow inside of a box. Lewis says, motivation for change comes the level of desire to want to better yourself. Absolutely, Lewis. People that say that they change, right? Change is a process that happens over time, not overnight. Okay, you can't just wake up one morning and say, oh, I'm going to be this, and the other, right? Yes, Ray, occasionally I visit the temples. Change is a process of a learned pattern of behavior. Repetition is the mother of memory, so you have to learn how to be humble. You're right, talk is free, it's also cheap, Lewis. So you have to look at how people live, right? If you look at my life and how I'm living, if you go behind the scenes, if you talk to subscribers on this channel that have met me, they will tell you the same person that you're looking at right now on camera is the same person you're going to meet in real life. And that's just the truth, because I don't hide anything from people. There are certain things I don't disclose to everyone because, frankly, not everybody needs to know every aspect of my life. Some things I keep personal. But there are very few of those, and if you've been watching this channel very long, you know that. Now, I also want to say, Joe says, best way to change the game is move away and start over somewhere else. Geographical change is a help, Joe, but I will tell you this, you have to take yourself with you everywhere you go. If you haven't got the desire to change, if you haven't got the tools you need in here and in here to change, wherever you go is not going to matter. I just talked to a guy about this weekend. A geographic change will help you get away from your environment, because as human beings, we all become products of our environment. If you don't think that's true, go stand in a dumpster, and eventually you'll start to smell like garbage. So if you hang around garbage, you're going to smell like garbage. That's why you have to remove yourself sometimes from that garbage. Understand? And it's just like all this nonsense about me getting kicked out of the Philippines. On a live stream, I plainly showed my passport with the green exit clearance, and I have a vlog that has my exit clearance paper on it when I left Manila. I voluntarily left. I voluntarily, on my own accord, left the Philippines because the situation with the expats, the American expats over there, was just getting volatile. And it was reaching a point that something bad was going to happen to somebody, and I didn't want it to be me. So I left. Plain and simple, I left. And when people say things like, "Oh, you got kicked out of here, you did this, you scammed somebody out of this, you did something like this," bullshit, and you know it. And the thing about it is, it's like so old now that it's just trying to be rekindled. And I just don't understand why people cannot let go. I mean, I do understand, because they have severe mental issues that are probably untreated. But for me, that's one of the things that I learned through the process of recovery and through the process of change, right? In the process of change, I learned how to let go of things, right? Forgiveness and humility are the two most powerful weapons in the world that you will ever find in your life. Humility and forgiveness are the two most powerful things that will change your life and change the lives of those around you forever. I assure you. I missed a comment. Lewis says internal strength is the best strength. I agree, Lewis. It is. And you know, building internal strength is just like building muscle, right? You have to tear it down and for it to grow. And the way you tear it down is you fail. And it's not how many times you fail, and it's not just how many times you get up after you've fallen, right? It's, do you get up the next day and put one foot in front of the other? It's that simple. The term for what I'm trying to tell you is, or the phrase is, this game called life is a game of progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. So as long as you are progressing, even if you fail, if you make a mistake, if you learn from that mistake and keep moving, you are making progress. Okay? Nobody is out for perfection, because nobody's perfect. Gary says, well said, it's all about character. I agree, Gary, and integrity is also a part of that. Jim says, have you ever heard of Trent Shelton? I have not, Jim. Joe says, takes up too much energy to hold a grudge. Absolutely. Hatred will consume you, man. It will consume you. It will consume your entire thoughts. That's one thing about, you know, me being brought up in some of these vloggers and other people's live streams all the time. I love the fact that I rent so much space in their head. It makes me just thoroughly happy, because it lets me know I'm doing something right. Gio says, it's your past, let it go and never bring it up again. You're not Jeremy Clodfelter, you're DoMoreLife now. That's very, very true, Gio. I am simply using this live stream that we're having right now as I'm using my past experiences, right, and what's going on currently to demonstrate. Yes, Rodney, 12 steps. To demonstrate the change, right? To demonstrate what change is really like. And another thing about change is, when you actually change, you won't have to tell anybody that you've changed. They will see it in your behavior, because talk is cheap. You can say anything to anybody all you want to, but when you change your behavior, people will automatically notice. How do I know that? Let's see, I missed one comment. John says, what, you work in Pattaya? I don't work in Pattaya, John, and I'm a school teacher, but I don't work in Pattaya. I was, like, as I told you at the beginning of this video, scum of the earth 7.5 years ago. I changed so much that all the family that said they would never speak to me again, I speak to on a regular basis. All the friends that let go of me and said, we don't want anything to do with you, I have them all back in my life, all of them. I've even helped a few of them going through their process, which was the same process that I went through. So this is a motivational. I love using my life as an example because I don't mind being transparent with you guys about that, okay? Gary says, it's in the valleys we grow, not on the mountaintop. That is so true. That is so true. That's so true, because that's something else you got to remember, guys. When you guys feel like that when you want to travel and you feel like you're never going to be able to because of this, that, and the other, you're in the valley. There's only one way to go when you're in the valley, and that's up. Keep that in mind. When you're at the bottom, you can only go up. Alonzo says, yeah, I agree. Talk is cheap. That's why I never hype up what I'm going to do next. Just do it. Exactly. Exactly. Joe says, one day I have a beer in my hand, the next day I don't. That's change. It's change. I don't think it's the kind of change I'm talking about. Lewis says, it improves the mind. I agree. Jonas says, from Texas. Nope, I'm from North Carolina. In terms of prep for it, says change is good. Change can be good. As long as you're not changing for the bad. it can definitely be good. You know, change is inevitable. Rodney says, Jeremy, would you have left the PI if not for that brush up? Eventually I would have left the PI because my goal is to travel Southeast Asia, just like eventually I'll leave Thailand. I wouldn't have left as soon as I did had it not been for all the mess going on over there. But you know, it was necessary. And moving to Thailand has been the biggest blessing in my life. I mean, look at the friends I've made since I've actually made friends here. Let's see, Rob says, do more of these real experiences, motivational conversation. Everybody breaks in life. It can be physical, mental, or having a broken heart. It's how you reflect and move that matters. I couldn't agree more, Rob. Could not agree more. And it's also about your attitude. You know, I define integrity as the spiritual application of principles no matter what the circumstances, right? So when I say that, I'm talking about things like humility, integrity, honesty, open-mindedness, willingness. Do I exercise those things no matter what the circumstances? If the circumstances are against me, do I exercise those basic principles, which are the fundamentals of my life, right? And if I exercise those things, I am very, very likely to succeed. Very likely to succeed. That is how you maintain integrity, okay? And the other thing is, if you don't lie about anything, you don't ever have to worry about covering up your lies. You don't ever have to worry about chasing it down. You don't ever have to worry about getting out and making yourself legitimizing yourself, or whatever the case may be. You say what you got to say once, and then you move on. And it makes life really simple. And honestly, guys, that's about all the time I'm going to take for today. I wanted you guys to sit at home that think that you're never going to be able to do anything, that think that you're stuck in the rat race, that think that you're stuck in the 9 to 5, that think that you know, you're never going to be able to get out and enjoy life. I want you to know that you can do it, because if I can come from the place that I came from and be a traveler and come out and do the things that I have done, then I assure you anyone can do it. Let me catch these last few comments here. Lewis says, life is a series of experiences where we can take positive or negative lessons from, and we decide the path we want to take. 100% agreed. Rob says, good words, mate. All those things you mentioned are true. If you are true to yourself and you have those character traits, then it becomes second nature. That also brings me to a good point. How can you expect to love and have compassion for someone else if you don't love and have compassion for yourself? It's not possible. So when you see these guys that are on YouTube just nailing everybody, talking about people they've never met and that kind of thing, or in real life they're sitting around talking about people that they've never met, it's because they hate themselves. It's not because they hate you. They hate themselves. Rodney says, thanks, man. Rodney says, living proof. That is exactly correct, Rodney, and I thank you for pointing that out. Hey, Paul, you told me you were going to catch the live stream. Yeah, you got here late. Catch the replay for sure. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Alonzo says, thank you, Jeremy, one of the realest on YouTube. I very much genuinely appreciate that, sir. Gary said, great words for all of us today. I hope so, Gary, and I hope the inspiration really helps. Chuck, my main man, thank you for dropping in. Good to see you. Try to catch the replay of this one. This one was a little bit different than what I've done in the past, but I want you guys to know that you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you're 55, 65, or 25. Okay, obviously if you're younger you have more time, but just be patient. Give life time to pan itself out. You know, what you do is you put yourself in a position for success, and then you take small incremental steps toward that successful goal. Remember, we're looking for progress, not perfection. Okay, you're not going to ever get everything right all the time. Just make a little bit of progress every day. And if you have a day that sets you back, don't sweat it. Make progress the next day. It's real easy. Hey Diesel, love positivity. Thank you, man. Positivity is a great thing. It really is, because there's so much negativity on YouTube. I want you guys to know, Joe says life takes money. Life does take money, but it depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live as to how much money it actually takes. Anybody talking or worried about the tropical storm? I've heard that crazy mode, but I'm not concerned about it. Alonzo says you should put that on a DoMoreLife shirt. Progress, not perfection. I might do that. Very well might do that. Jim says, Jeremy, great live stream. I personally needed it, and I'm sure other people on here did as well. Thank you, man. You're very welcome, Jim. This is something I don't do very often, but I just felt it necessary after some of the comments of stuff. Hey Fong, it's cold over there. It's going to get down 35 in San Diego. Ooh, that's cold, man. No, it's not cold over here. It feels good. Joe says not in a dumpster. Yeah, I understand, Joe. Gary, Jeremy, I love this positive message. It helps me to never give up. Good. Jenny says, been following you for a while. You say life as it is. Thanks. You're very welcome, Jenny. And I appreciate you guys that understand that what I say comes from my experiences, man. And my experiences in life have been that of those that really, you know, you kind of get to live life twice, because you take yourself to the brink of death, and then you change everything. Life by the equator sounds good. It's not that bad. Crazy Mo says headed straight to Koh Samui. That's cool. Paul says PMA, positive mental attitude, is not everything. It is the only thing. That is, that sentence in and of itself is super valuable, Paul. I agree. But it really helps to have input from positive people like you and others. Thanks. That's what I was going to say. Your environment plays a huge role in who you are. If you take the average of your 5 best friends, or the people that you spend the most time around, the 5 people that you spend the most time around, if you average their character together, you'll get you. I guarantee it. That's what'll come, because environment plays such a huge role in who we are as humans. What's your new goal in 2019? Nothing but small measures of success, Fong. That's it. Keep doing what I'm doing. Keep trying to build this community. Keep trying to build this channel. Eventually turn myself into a full-time content creator. And that's it, bro. I don't have any big goals, because, you know, it's low expectations and high levels of acceptance is the best way to live life, because it's better to be surprised than disappointed, period. Joe says life is a pyramid, always go up, not down. That's very true. Hey Tony, I agree and I object. Maybe you're not perfect for everyone, Jeremy, but you're perfectly perfect for us. Peace. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that, man. Hey Chris, happy new year to you, man. And Joe says pyramid of life. I understand. Chuck says my goal for 2019 is not making a mistake writing. I don't think it's gonna work, Chuck, but you can try, man. Alonzo is talking to him, and how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Lazy Foundation. One bite at a time. And that is a good point. I'll elaborate on that in just a second. What he's saying is, when you take on these huge projects, like I want to take on, like becoming a full-time content creator and doing that with the rest of my life, how do I do that? One little goal at a time, one small thing at a time. Don't try to stretch it. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to force it. You do it one step at a time, and that's what he means by how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. In other words, you have to be patient, you have to take your time, and you have to do things in small increments, and I completely agree. Guys, if you like this content, do me a favor and hit the like button. I really would appreciate it. I also want to let you know that the DoMoreLife merchandise is still available at 10% off, and will be available at least through the 15th of this month. If you're very interested, you're right, Monger. Baby steps. It's all about baby steps, man. Hey, Kent, sorry you missed the live stream here. I'm getting ready to cut off, but good morning to you, sir. And I also want to thank all you guys, whether you contribute monetarily for like through super chat, or where you sponsor content, or where you where you send contribution through PayPal and then I make a video for you, or whatever you do, whatever you do for this channel. Even if you're just watching and commenting, you are helping this channel grow, and you are helping me grow as a person, and I genuinely appreciate all of you, and I really mean that. That is another thing. Attitude of gratitude will always succeed in life. If you have an attitude of gratitude and you are optimistic, you will succeed. It's that simple. If you're pessimistic and blame others for everything that's wrong in your life, you're going to have a miserable existence. Fong says, for bigger picture in building a community of expats, you want to look for an apartment complex so we can all be neighbors. I hear you, buddy. Joe says, first you got to kill the elephant. Yeah, I hear that too. Hey, Fabe, good morning. Sorry you missed it. Don't worry, man. You can catch the replay. It's no big deal. Steve says, be safe. Thank you, sir. Mark says, Happy New Year. Leaving Chiang Mai this morning, going back to Hua Hin. Have a safe trip. Say hi to Irene in Poland. Hi, Irene in Poland. Lewis says, sounds like a shirt idea. I know, right? Can you say hi to Irene in Poland? Hi to Irene in Poland. Hey, Ty. Sorry you missed it, buddy, but I'm out here. It's good to see you, and thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. You guys keep me going and keep me motivated and keep me on point so that I can give you these rare videos every once in a while. So Joseph says, morning, how was the new year? It was great, and I loved it, and I wanted to really start off this year on the right note, which is one reason why I'm putting out this little small motivational speech. And if you guys want to see more motivational stuff, let me know. A lot of people don't know to the extent of which the things that I've overcome in my life, and I have no problem talking about them on YouTube. So with that being said, guys, whatever you do today, make sure you do more life. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.